Hello and welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Jie, live from Seoul. Our top story this morning, the United States has once again pledged to provide firm and extended deterrence measures for South Korea to counter the rising threats posed by North Korea. The pledge came during talks in Washington between the foreign and defense chiefs of the allies. Kim Hyun-bin reports.
The focus of the so-called 2+2 talks between South Korea's Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se and Defense Minister Han Min-koo and their American counterparts John Kerry and Ashton Carter was on strengthening U.S. extended deterrence policy against North Korea's ever-growing nuclear and missile threats, as well as maximizing the effectiveness of sanctions on the regime. Speaking at a press conference after the talks, Kerry said Washington will do everything to defend South Korea and to speed up the deployment of U.S. missile defense system to the peninsula.
There should be no doubt that the United States will do whatever is necessary to defend ourselves and to honor the security commitments that we have made to allies, including the Republic of Korea. And we will deploy as soon as possible a terminal high-altitude area defense battery to our Korean ally.
Carter also emphasized that the U.S. is committed to providing extended deterrence guaranteed by the full spectrum of U.S. defense capabilities. He warned Pyongyang that the use of any nuclear weapons will come at a massive price.
Make no mistake, any attack on America or our allies will not only be defeated, but also any use of nuclear weapons will be met with an overwhelming and effective response.
The two allies also agreed to enhance extended deterrence by swiftly establishing a new high-level bilateral body called the Extended Deterrence Strategy and Consultation Group. On Thursday, Seoul's Defense Minister Han Min-koo will hold talks with his U.S. counterpart Ashton Carter for the 48th Annual Security Consultative Meeting. Mr. Han and Secretary Carter are expected to focus on the details of extended deterrence and issues regarding permanently deploying a U.S. strategic asset to the peninsula, as well as the specific date to deploy THAAD to the south before the end of next year. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News, Washington, D.C.
China has expressed regret over the country's latest illegal fishing in South Korean waters and said the Chinese government will not avoid its responsibility and solve the issue according to the law. This came as Seoul's Deputy Foreign Minister for Political Affairs Kim Young-jin met with his Chinese counterpart Kung Xuan-yu on Wednesday. Earlier this month, a Chinese boat slammed into and sunk a Korean Coast Guard ship that was carrying out a crackdown operation in the West Sea. The incident flared up diplomatic tensions between the two nations as Beijing labeled Seoul's strengthened measures as an abuse of its authority. Now, the eyes of the world will be on Las Vegas in a little under 2 hours from now as Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump prepare to take the stage for the third and final U.S. presidential debate. The debate will begin at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that's 10 a.m. Korea time, and will last an hour and a half with no commercials and no breaks. It will be divided into 6 segments on topics including immigration, economy, and fitness to be president. The latest polls show Trump is behind Clinton by up to 10 points, so he will be under pressure to put in a strong performance. Adding extra spice to the debate, Trump has invited President Obama's estranged half-brother, Malik Obama, one of his supporters, as a guest. The final debate comes 20 days before the November 8th election day. The Federal Reserve says the U.S. economy has maintained a steady growth pace over the past couple of months as the labor market and wage growth contributed to the generally positive outlook. In its latest Beige Book report released on Wednesday, the Fed said that among its 12 districts, the majority indicated a modest or moderate pace of expansion, indicating the economy is generally on the right track. It said the job market was showing modest employment and wage growth, although some districts reported rising pressure for certain sectors. There is speculation the Fed might raise rates for the first time in a year in December if economic conditions remain favorable. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte says the South China Sea arbitration case will take the back seat during talks with China. Currently on a state visit to China, Duterte said he has to be polite, courteous and wait for China's president to mention it because he is a visitor to their country. China's foreign ministry says Beijing is happy to resolve the territorial dispute through consultation and dialogue. During his time in Beijing, Duterte is expected to confirm his tilt away from the U.S. and towards China's sphere of influence. He stressed that the Philippines is hoping, among other things, that Beijing will repeal a ban on imports of its bananas, an economic sanction intended to punish Manila for its South China Sea stance. And that wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Hwang Jie. More updates are coming up at 10 a.m. Korea time, so do stay tuned and goodbye.